Hi, I'm Cindy, and welcome to a Museum Minute. We talk a lot about mining and forestry, those two industries in Ladysmith. But did you know at one time there was a copper smelter here? That's what we're going to talk about today. Around 1898, copper was found on Mount Sicker, which is located approximately 20 kilometers south of town. In 1902, the Tyee Copper Company constructed a massive copper smelter at Oyster Harbor. This smelter processed high-grade ore that was shipped in on the E&N Railway. The smelter was backed by James Dunsmuir, as he gave the Tyee Company 56 acres of land and an extra mile of railway siding. Now this is where the story gets interesting. Dunsmuir had a bitter rivalry with his mining competitor, Henry Croft, who incidentally was his brother-in-law. You see, Mr. Croft built his own railway to Crofton to ship the ore, as he thought James was overcharging him to use the E&N Railway. So, Dunsmuir backed the Ladysmith smelter location as direct competition to Croft. For several years, Ladysmith was a bustling hub known as Smelter City that employed hundreds of men and processed thousands of tons of ore. In its early years, the smelter operations required large volumes of ore, which were initially processed using primitive, weeks-long smoking fires in open trenches to drive off sulfur and other impurities. Roasting was not a pleasant job, and the smell impacted most of the town. There were 30 heaps of raw ore, 50 by 24 by 6, and they burned at all times. The resulting toxic fumes were known to kill vegetation for miles around. The smelter operated intermittently alongside the region's coal and logging industries. However, as Mount Sicker's ore veins began to deplete, the smelter ceased operations, and they dismantled its heavy machinery in 1911. Following the smelter's closure, several companies attempted to revive or repurpose the infrastructure, but these efforts ultimately failed. Finally, in 1928, the mill and surrounding assets were destroyed by a major fire. The waterfront site has been heavily impacted by industrial contamination, prompting extensive municipal and environmental monitoring. Today, much has been done to improve our waterfront to become one of our town's best assets. Well, thank you so much for watching, everyone, and we'll see you next time on a Museum Minute.